In an interview with BBC's Radio 6 in 2018, Thom Yorke revealed that Radiohead had been offered to score Fight Club. But a while after receiving the script, the offer fell through, and a year or so later, the film was released, with an incredible score instead crafted by the Dust Brothers, Michael Simpson and John King. Thom explains that the stress felt after the monumental OK Computer album and touring cycle was the cause. As far as is publicly known, the story ends there. But I have a theory that that's not all there is to it. Remember that score I mentioned, the one created by the Dust Brothers? Well, I think it's great, and one of the stronger parts of the movie. But one of the songs on that soundtrack sounds confusingly similar to a B-side from the 2001 released Radiohead album, Amnesia. As far as I can ascertain from the information that's widely available, Radiohead wrote the music that would become Kid A and Amnesiac over drastically varying times, but most of these two albums was worked out in between the years 1998 and 2000. The music from this era of the band is experimental, electronic and ambient in style, which is perhaps the second most notable thing about it, after being the greatest left turn in music history. Thom's lyrical inspirations from this time range from complete randomness and chance to more complex observations and emotions. And one such observation influencing Thom took place on or after the date of 12th November 1998. We know this because the inspiration comes in the form of a quote from the then Deputy Prime Minister of Iran, who responded to a question from journalist Christiane Amport, saying, "We don't see any light at the end of the tunnel. There is a tunnel after the tunnel," a quote which began appearing in Thom's writing, posted on the Radiohead website a short while later. All this is documented on the Radiohead web index Citizen Insane. Eventually, fragments of the quote made their way into lyrics for the song Transatlantic Drawl, which leads us back to the Dust Brothers score. Described here as a postmodern score encompassing drum loops, electronic scratches, and computerized samples, which sounds familiar. Drawing your attention now to one specific piece from the score.
Feeling bad.
About 50 seconds in, this track transitions into the song that many people consider to be the main theme of Fight Club. It plays over the intro credits sequence and is one of the more memorable tracks on the album. Here it is from about 50 seconds in. Having heard that, now listen to this part of Radiohead's song Transatlantic Drawl. Is the resemblance immediately apparent to you? I tried to reinforce my opinion by asking my friends, who heard the similarities instantly. Listen again to the two songs now, focusing on the drum loops and the sound which goes wheel 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 wheel. I don't know what instrument that is. My theory is that Radiohead actually started scoring it, or at least their relationship with the production, Fight Club, is more complex than has been let on. I think it's possible that in late 1998, when Fight Club is in production and Thom Yorke is struggling, having just come off tour, a script is sent, as well as comments from both stars Norton and Pitt. The band consider it, communication between the two parties continues, and Radiohead, perhaps still considering it, or perhaps knowing that they likely won't be able to do it, decide either way to send over a sample piece so the movie crew can get an idea of what they might be working with. Reasonably, of course, as the band's style had changed significantly from the Bends and OK Computer, which were the two albums that stars Edward Norton and Brad Pitt are known to have had a, quote, mutual fixation for, and caused them to pursue Radiohead in the first place. And then perhaps after receiving that sample, Norton, Pitt and Fincher, or any combination of crew, liked the version of Transatlantic Drawl so much that after Radiohead pulled out, they requested it be preserved or reworked in some way so that it could be included in the product, which was easy enough to do once the Dust Brothers were brought on, since it was already similar enough to their style. And then, without too much struggle, the track Stealing Fat was recorded, with a strangely similar instrumental to Radiohead's song Transatlantic Drawl.